My name is Hervin, and this is day 50 of the Daily Journal video series, where every day I come on and I document here our journey as we try and scale our company, and I share any lessons that I find along the way. Day 50, I can't believe it's already been 50 days since I started recording these videos. I've created here a little habit of recording every day. I've learned so much just by doing this in terms of speaking, just and being consistent with publishing here content. And I feel the difference between where I started and where I am now. I feel like I flow a little bit better now in front of the camera. It feels a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, I'm loving doing these videos every single day. This is something that I find fun. Let's dive into today. It's 10:51 p.m. Eastern Time. We're back in South Florida. We made it back from our mastermind program where we were in Austin. We learned a lot, got to hang out with really cool entrepreneurs, got to hear their success stories, hear their struggles. It was very insightful and also motivational and also intimidating to see people who are like 10 steps ahead of where we are and seeing how much they've succeeded, how much work they've put in, how difficult the problems that they're facing seem now. And so, yeah, that was really cool to be there, to hang out in the same room with all of these entrepreneurs, got to learn a lot. And now tomorrow, because today was a full day of traveling. Yesterday we were in the mastermind, and right after we went to eat, and then we came back and went to sleep. We didn't get a chance to handle a lot of the support that was coming in from our clients. So probably tomorrow there's going to be a lot of support here that needs to be done for the clients, answering questions and so on. Besides this, I feel, even though I gained clarity around how to onboard our new employees that are going to be coming in on board, we're also going to have to look into just doing a little bit of more work before Monday when they actually come in. So tomorrow is good. I feel like it's going to be a packed day. We're going to do a little bit more work around the onboarding. Yeah, so it's just it seems like tomorrow's just a working day. I thought we were going to get to relax, but I don't think so. And yeah, I mean, that's the update right now. So we got to prepare a little bit better for this next week that's going to come in, where we're going to be onboarding everybody. We're going to have to, it's going to be a couple of packed, I think, next few weeks or next few months, I should say. So that's going to be expected. But overall, I'm excited for these new people to come on board, start helping out. Yeah, that's my update. Besides this, today on the plane, I kept listening to the book by Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple Computers with Steve Jobs, and learning about his past and how he got to be where he was, and how he got to learn all the lessons that allowed him to make the computers. It was really cool to listen so far where I'm at in the book, where he's talking about all of the side projects and things that he was doing for fun, little building electronic projects, building like gadgets and things like that for his friends, designing products, and he was doing it for free, and he was taking them seriously, and that's where he would spend a lot of his pastime, is just creating these products. Even though he wasn't making any money from them, he was doing it for fun. And that's kind of how he grew up his entire life, just building. So growing up, his father was a mechanic. He was an engineer, or not a mechanic, I'm sorry. He was an engineer, and his father teaching him a lot of things about electronics, mechanical things, and him taking that knowledge, applying it, creating different things with it, and doing that throughout his entire life, all throughout high school. He would design computers on paper. Through college, he would create different things, just for fun. And what that made me think is like, okay, he was building this skill set for so many years. Of course, he was going to be successful, but it wasn't obvious. It wasn't obvious that he was doing something that was going to lead him to success, but he wasn't doing it kind of strategically, thinking like someday I'm going to own the world by creating this massive computer company that's going to take over. We're going to have these computers that are going to be owned by everybody, and like we're going to also have phones. Like it wasn't like so strategic. It was almost like following his passion, and a lot of things happened by luck. Like he happened to encounter a company. He happened to be working with a company. I can't remember the exact story now, but he was working with this company, or found this company that had VCRs that went out of business, and they had a ton of VCRs, and they were selling them for really cheap because they were really expensive. They were like $1,000, and he was buying them for like 60, and he would grab them, take them home, take them apart, study them, figure out how they work, figure out how they were able to record color into cassettes and things like that, and how the machine was able to recolor and so on. And that lesson that he learned there about color and how to store color information in the cassette, and how the machines were able to read it, he was able to take that same thing and apply it later on when he built the Apple computer with a screen that was able to recolor and so on. And so all those lessons that seemed like they seemed at the time when he was going through them, like he was just doing something that he found fun, but later on it all came together and all came into the computer that he built, that he was able to build. So yeah, it's crazy about what that tells me about success, is that it isn't like you sit down right now, you're like, okay, I want to get to this place, and here's the exact map I'm going to follow, and I'm just going to do this, and it's going to come out exactly like this, and it's like super planned, strategic. It's more like for the people that I've been looking at, they have a passion for certain things, they pursue that passion. That passion is usually something that has the potential to be leverageable and to do good for other people, to solve problems for other people. And because they're solving problems for other people, they're also people are willing to pay for those solutions. And then it turns into a company, which then turns into money. But it all comes from kind of like just naively following their intuition. You know, when I think of Joe Rogan, I think of him for many years doing his podcast without anybody ever knowing, like, why is he doing this thing? This seems weird. Same thing they must have thought of when Steve Wozniak was like in his room redesigning the same computer over and over and over, and trying to beat himself, trying to make this computer with less and less parts because he found that fun. It just seems like they were just always doing something that they were passionate about, and unintentionally building a skill set there. And it made me think of a video that I watched yesterday, I believe, of this guy named Thomas Gonnet, where he talks about he made this competition for 3 marketing agency owners to get the marketing agencies in, I don't know if it was 3 months, 6 months, to get the marketing agency to $20,000 in a month, from 0 to 20,000 in a month in like 3 months or 6 months or whatever it was. And one of the lessons that he took away from that, seeing all of the people who had success, is that they were creators. They were not consumers. And it made me think of that lesson from the book, that lesson that James Clear, the author of the books Atomic Habits, shared on Twitter, where he said, you want to be the more you create, the more powerful you become. The more you consume, the more powerful others become. And I have taken this, and I've thought about this a lot, and thinking about, Steve Wozniak creating projects for fun, spending the time to create, taught him the lessons that he needed in order to later be able to create a computer. Joe Rogan, creating, putting content out there, even before people thought it was cool, even before people thought like, oh wow, this is something that there's a career here. He just did it because he found it fun. Later on, it turns out that people actually enjoy those type of podcasts, and there's a huge demand for them, and he grows really, really popular. And so it almost seems like you have to follow your own path. You got to follow your own intuition, things that you are passionate about. Pursue those with discipline, and whether that very thing translates into money later on, or doing that thing teaches you a skill set that then you're able to apply later on into something that actually does make you money. It's kind of the path, it feels like. And so, yeah, so I've been thinking a lot about that. And I've been thinking about these videos, right now being day 50 of this journey that we've been going through. And I've been thinking about, what do I want to do? And do I just continue doing these daily journal video series as they are? And do I focus on them and that's it? Or do I focus on something else? And one of the things that I think about is, number one, I made this commitment that I wanted to do this daily. So I feel like, I want to stick to the commitment. But on the other hand, I also think about, how do you grow? How do you progress through something? And the way to progress, the way to learn, is by doing a lot of different things, like having a lot of iteration. The more iteration, so instead of making the same videos every single day the same way all the time, today create a short video, tomorrow create a long video, today create a video, or the next day create a video that talks about X, Y, and Z, the next day create a video that talks about ABC, the next day create a video where you're outside, then you're inside, and you're switching the topics and you're trying different things. That's the point. Because the more things you try, eventually you find something that works. And right now it feels like I'm not trying enough things. I'm just kind of sticking to this format as a daily journal video series, and I'm just doing it right now like this. And right now, this is, I like this format because I'm just coming over here and I'm free flowing and I'm building my skill set. So like, I feel like the main skill set that I've gotten to work on this 50 days is just flowing off the cuff here. Before these 50 days, if I ever needed to make a video, I felt like I needed to write down every single word that I was going to say. And I felt like I needed to just script out the whole entire video before I felt confident to just press record and just go off and start recording. Now I feel like I've developed a little bit the skill set of just jumping on, speak off the cuff, and be okay with whatever comes out. And so I want to, now that I learned this lesson, I mean, I could always improve it, but now that I feel like I have learned this lesson, I want to move forward and try different things. Like I tried the other day a video where I talked about the things that I have learned from watching Gary Vee's old content. And I tried that video, and it's gotten more views than any of these daily journal video series. And not only that, but I saw the metrics, and I even got one person to subscribe to my channel because of that video. And so I thought of that, and I'm like, okay, I've made 50 of these videos and barely anybody has cared. I made one that was different, and it got more views. And so I'm thinking, I'm not ultimately after the views. This project of making these videos is like brings me a lot of fun and a lot of satisfaction. But I want to see if I can test out trying different things, creating videos about a specific content, for example. So one of the things that I've been thinking about is like, in my journal, when I write down journals, I come up with principles for success. I think about a lot, like, what are the principles for success? And one of the other things that I've learned just this last week, I learned this from this YouTuber called Justin Sung. He's a professional learning coach. He teaches people how to learn. And one of the things that he teaches is how to mind map, how to create, how to use diagramming, drawing, uh, just, just in a way that teaches you how to learn, and or that you can use it as a tool for learning. And I've been playing around with this idea of taking concepts and mind mapping them. And I've been thinking about, oh, that would be cool. What if I spend time just creating video content around the lesson? So if I take certain principles and I turn those into visuals and I share them here through the iPad with you guys. And that's kind of like the content that I want to be making. It's just sharing the things that I've been thinking about success. And yeah, that's just something that I want to try. So I don't know if I'm going to continue exactly the same way, making these daily journal video series every single day. Most likely what I'm going to do is tomorrow and for the next few days, I'm going to not make these daily journal video series and instead focus on something like just focus on one particular subject. Because right now, as I've been making these videos, I've been making them every day. When I speak a lot about different topics. I give an update about my day, I something that I'm thinking about, and it kind of goes all over the place. I'm wondering if I can just focus on one topic at a time, even if there are different topics that I speak to. I pick one topic per day and I just talk about that. So that's something that I'm going to try and see if that works. And if not, I'll come back to the daily journal video series, because this is not going to go away. This opportunity to share here, it's always going to be here. And from time to time, I might just keep making this. I don't know. Maybe I come back tomorrow, it also depends on the time that I have, because being able to create a lot of content and really thinking through the content might take me a lot of time. And as you saw, or as I just said, we're going to be packed with onboarding new employees, all of these things that need to be taken care of in the company. So it depends on the time that I have. It's going to dictate the time that I'm going to be able to put into the content. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'm just right now wanting to focus on trying out different things. And so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, that is my update for today. So I'm just going to wrap it up over here tomorrow. A lot of support, thinking about the onboarding a little bit deeper. And yeah. So I don't know if I'll make another daily journal video series episode tomorrow. Maybe I know what I want to be creating content every single day. I don't know if it's going to take the form of the daily journal video series, but you'll see me regardless. So follow along the journey and just subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all tomorrow.